The Braves are back home at beautiful Turner Field after their longest road trip of the season. Starting pitching by one of the major's top pitching staffs and some clutch hitting by the veterans allowed the Braves to wrap up their trip by winning 7 of 10 games. Tonight, Jair Jurgens takes the mound. He looks to continue his terrific start to the year. It's the New York Mets and the Atlanta Braves. Game 1 of the series starts right now on Sports South. Oh, it's great to be back here at beautiful Turner Field in Atlanta. A nice crowd gathering for Game 1 of this long homestand. The Mets are in town, and they're playing good baseball. So are the Braves, and all year long, Braves baseball on Sports South, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff, and the low price. Hi again, friends. Joe and Chip, great to be back at Turner Field. The Braves just wrapped up a 7-3 road trip. That's the good news. Bad news, the injury bug strikes during the batting practice today here at Turner Field.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman was scratched from the lineup just minutes ago, Chip, and with what was diagnosed as a slight right oblique strain, we hope it's not anything serious. And if they scratched him, that means they're trying to keep that from happening or keep that from becoming a real serious injury. Eric Hinske will start in his place.
And speaking of starting, Jair Jurgens gets the ball for the Atlanta Braves, having an all-star caliber first half to this season.
Absolutely brilliant. 3-1 record over his last 4 starts with a 1.86 ERA. That one loss was, though, to these New York Mets, so he'll try to get a little revenge tonight against this New York ball club, who, as you said, has been playing good baseball. They've won 7 out of 11. But Jair Jurgens, the class right now, I think, of the National League East in terms of starting pitching, and that includes anybody in Philadelphia. He's been brilliant. The rest of the matchups in this series, Dylan G is undefeated for the Mets. He goes against Tim Hudson, who evened his record in his last start in Houston. And R.A. Dickey, the knuckleballer, always gives the Braves fits, and he'll go against Mike Minor, who will be looking for his first win on Thursday. So it should be a good series with the Mets playing better baseball, but then again, so are the Braves.
Starting pitching is always a key when you face a divisional opponent, and starting the game at the plate may be the key to both these clubs' offenses. 2 speedsters are playing very well in the number 1 spot in the order. We'll talk about the Braves' Jordan Schaefer and MVP candidate Jose Reyes of the Mets when we return in just a moment. Sports and Outdoors, by AT&T Uverse, by Delta Airlines, by Checkers, and by Ford. Minutes away from baseball back in Atlanta at Turner Field. It's the Braves and the New York Mets. And the key to this series might be determined, partner, by which staff can retire the opponent's leadoff man best.
I think it's going to be highly important for both sides. And when we first started talking about making this comparison, I thought maybe it'd be too lopsided in favor of Jose Reyes because he's one of the premier leadoff guys in all of baseball and has been for several years. But over the last 15 games, look at what Jordan Schaefer does in comparison to Jose Reyes. In fact, he's got more stolen bases, and the team's record 10-5 when he's been in there. He's also scored 10 runs. So don't take Jordan Schaefer lightly if you're the New York Mets. He's been wreaking some havoc for the Braves on the bases, too.
And what do we like to say when we see that graphic? Jackpot. Let's see if Jordan and the Braves can hit it tonight. Game 1 of the homestand, game 1 of this series with the New York Mets. Jair Jurgens, Jonathan Neese, the combatants, and we'll take a look at the lineups and get to our first pitch right after this. Evenly played series, and the New York Mets playing good ball come in at 32 and 34 on the year. You got to stop Jose Reyes. Willie Harris, the former Brave, in there batting second behind him. A lot of left-handed bats in there against Brave starter Jair Jurgens, who's looking for his 9th win of the season tonight.
The matchups with these two teams are very even, and you might be a little surprised at that, but they are 3-3 in head-to-head competition. The Braves won 2 out of 3 here earlier this year. The Mets won 2 out of 3 at Citi Field. Runs are virtually even, so are the hits. And the team ERAs, well, the Braves have an advantage there like they do over every team in baseball right now, but the Mets pitching has been very good against Atlanta as well. So Atlanta's hitters, they snap out of it a little bit in Houston. Hopefully that'll carry over here into this series, Chip.
Warm night in Atlanta, 87 degrees this evening. Should cool off into the low 70s by the time we get to the 8th or 9th inning. No chance of rain, it would appear, tonight. Breeze blowing from left to right. And the Braves coming off just a terrific road trip when you consider how it started. Losing 2 out of 3 to the Mets at Citi Field to finish it at 7-3. Remarkable work turned in by Freddie Gonzalez's ball club, considering the injuries they had to suffer through as well.
But everybody seems to be covering for everybody else. That's what's nice. And tonight, Eric Kinski will be asked to do that in the absence of Freeman at first base. But Jair's on the mound for his 12th start of the year. He's 8-2 with a 1.82 ERA. One complete game, that was a beauty. Lifetime against the Mets, he's 8-3, a 2.68 ERA, and made a start against them in New York on June 4th and got beat 5-0. But he had a 4-hit shutout working into the 7th inning when that happened. And against the Mets, he is 5-0 here at Turner Field, a 1.38 ERA. His 4 keys to pitching success tonight: Reyes. As we said, he's got to keep Jose Reyes off the bases, and Reyes is second in the major leagues in hitting right now with a 342 clip. The other thing tonight is his changeup. 8 of the 9 hitters, counting the pitcher, are going to be left-handed. That means he has the use of that changeup working down and away from the left-handed hitters to keep them off balance and hopefully keep them reaching for pitches. That's going to be a huge pitch for them tonight.
Here's how the Braves line up in the field tonight. Young, Schaefer, and Mather from left to right in the outfield. We mentioned Freddie Freeman out with a slight right oblique. So Eric Hinsky gets the start at first base. A night off for Alex Gonzalez last night. He's back in there at shortstop, and with the left-hander on the mound, David Ross is behind the plate.
This is almost like a night off for Eric, though. He doesn't have to play the outfield. He doesn't have to run all the way out there. Just trot out to first base. He'll be ready to go, and he does a very good job there.
So you said job number 1 for Jurgens is to retire Jose Reyes. He's done that an awful lot in their head-to-head meetings. And a strike on the game's first pitch.
Reyes' numbers just 3 for 20 against JJ in his career. But he is in his walk year. He'll be a free agent at the end of the year if they don't re-sign him, and he's having one of his best years ever.
Up the middle. That's tough play. Alex has no play. And Jose Reyes has his 95th hit of the season, an infield single to start the game.
95 hits now. He is tops in multi-hit games in the National League with 33. He's just getting on base all the time for them, and that's part of the reason why they've been playing so much better. As soon as he came back from a bereavement leave where he was gone from the team with the passing of his grandmother, he came back red hot, and so did the team. They got hot too.
Willie Harris hits and takes a ball. Harris at .223, a homer, 8 batted in. But unlike the man leading off for the Mets, Willie's had much better luck against Jair Jurgens.
Willie's just glad to be on the road. It's a lot better on the road. Seven for 14 against JJ, whose stolen base numbers have improved in terms of the success rate against him. From 2008, where they were 90% successful, this year only 43% successful against him.
Got him! Close play. Somebody said got him. And now Bill Miller and Tom Hallion are going to talk behind the pitcher's mound here. The Mets might be complaining about a watered-down running track at first base.
Try there at first base. Slip it.
Well, isn't that interesting? It's hot in Atlanta. You got to water the field. I guess they've requested some drying agent. There's coach. You want what? We just did that. Here Notice that pickoff move. And his right foot did slip. Watch it go out from under him. And he immediately is looking back over there, and that's why Bill Miller asked for the drying agent.
I thought you were allowed to manicure your home field however you saw fit within the boundaries of the rule book.
Well, I would say that he needs better spikes. You know?
Yeah.
Change your shoes. If you really want to test it out, let Bill Miller, the home plate umpire, get out there and act like he's going to steal. And if he thinks it's slippery, then okay.
Teams used to do this to the St. Louis Cardinals all the time back in the 80s, didn't they?
Yep, back in those cutouts when they played on the artificial turf. Sometimes there was water standing in those cutouts.
But how refreshing is it to see things like this happening again? That tells you the importance of speed again in baseball.
It's a pure accident, 100% accident. Just remember, Jordan Schaefer wants a dry track to run on too.
So Ed Mangan and his ground crew get the first base runner's lane manicured. They'll back their tractor out of the way, and already a busy night for the men in blue in Atlanta.
And the crew chief, Tom Hallion, was called over to expedite that. This lineup tonight for the Mets a little different than what they've been firing out there because, quite frankly, Terry Collins said, the way Jurgens pitches against us, we got to try something different, even though they beat him in New York on the 4th.
So after a long delay, another throw to first. Two balls, no strikes. Reyes runs. The pitch, a strike. The throw hits Reyes in the side. And fortunately for the Braves, it drops right at the second base bag.
Looked like he slipped a little bit on his crossover there. But David Ross knew he didn't have time to really load up, so a quick release caused an errant throw. But a good save there by the leg of Reyes, keep it from going into center field.
So his 21st steal. And now 3 balls and a strike to Willie Harris. Two on, nobody out. And now Beltran bats. So much discussion about what the Mets could expect from Carlos Beltran coming into this 2011 season. And he's had a good run of it, hitting .282, 9 homers, only 39 RBIs, but he's out there almost every day in right field for New York now. A foul ball. Ross tried to steal it out. Strike one.
And see how important it is to the Mets to get an early lead on Jurgens. And the first inning has not been a problem for JJ in terms of runs allowed. No runs allowed in the first inning, and only 2 total runs allowed in the first 3 innings.
When you going tomorrow? Yeah.
A little low to even the count. Mets have the second best batting average in baseball with runners in scoring position since May 15th. Beltran has the first chance. And he delivers a shot to center. Reyes around third, gets the green light. The throw is not cut off. And Carlos Beltran singles home the game's first run. It's 1-0 Mets.
I'm not sure Jordan Schaefer saw this ball off the bat. It was down and away and a quick flip of the bat. And you see Jordan even moving to his right. He actually was leaning to his right before he picked that ball up. Probably because he saw the location of the pitch and just figured it was going more to right to left center.
Strike one to Daniel Murphy. He's enjoyed hitting in the cleanup spot for New York, hitting .390 in June. But hasn't been the number 4 hitters doing the damage against Georgians. Instead, JJ's been cleaning up against them.
Yeah, they're just 2 for 32 against him. They're not driven in a run. But we've had all these good numbers for JJ all year long, hitting with runners in scoring position, all those things, all those numbers are low. But the fact of the matter is the Mets have put one across and still nobody out. So those numbers don't matter a whole lot here other than the fact that he's capable of getting out of it with only the 1 run. It just goes to what Jose Reyes or any other real good leadoff man can do to you and how he disrupts things just by starting this off with a simple infield hit and then a stolen base.
He scored in 14 of the last 17 Mets games. And now a 2-strike count to Daniel Murphy. The Mets manager, his club just 2 games under 500 coming in tonight. And a shot to right. And in the sunshine, Mather makes the play. And Murphy is out number 1.
This time of night, you always worry about the sun at Turner Field and whether or not it will affect the first baseman, the second baseman, or the right fielder, but it looked like Mather tracked that one pretty well.
Now JJ, a ground ball perhaps from getting out of the first. Angel Pagan is the hitter. Pagan's been a tough man to double up, just twice in 136 at bats.
Their pitching has been good. Their hitting has been okay. If there's one area that's been driving Terry Collins a little crazy, that's been hurting the team, it's been some bad base running decisions. Guys trying to maybe do a little too much when they don't need to. And it's really cost them some runs lately.
Line to center. Jordan's there. Throw back to second will be late. A sinking line drive retires Pagan.
Yeah, another tough chance for Jordan there. He had to get a quick read on this, that it was in front of him, and then it started sinking on top of that. Let's play. Just nice to see the Braves wearing white jerseys again. Been a long time.
Have a nice long homestand. 3 series to get even healthier here at home. Here's Duda, Lucas Duda, batting 172.
Guess who's playing first base for the Mets?
Duda.
Thank you.
And he hits a fly ball into shallow left center. Jordan is there. And Jose Reyes got things started for New York. An infield hit, a stolen base, and he scores on a Beltran hit. Let's see if Jordan Schaefer and the Braves can answer a 1-0 New York first inning lead. Freddie Gonzalez. Showed you the good numbers for Jordan Schaefer in the leadoff spot. Dan Uggla had a resurgent road trip for the Braves. Chipper Jones hot in Houston as well. And Eric Hinsky, the cleanup man tonight, with Freddie Freeman sidelined before the game.
Jonathan Neese is 23 years old, 6'4", 215 out of Defiance, Ohio. 5-5, a 3.51 ERA, but pitching a lot better lately than he did at the beginning of the season. His keys tonight, Chipper Jones, who has hit him well, and he's got a good sinker. He needs to use that tonight.
He may have just done so to retire Jordan Schaefer for his first out of the night.
His start against the Braves in New York on June 3rd, he got no decision, but pitched into the 8th inning. Braves only got 2 runs off of him that night, Chip, but the Braves had 8 hits and a walk. They had him in some trouble. They just couldn't put him away. They had 2 or 3 doubles in that ball game. Hit him pretty hard, but this guy's a good pitcher. You might remember the home run Chipper hit off of him into the club level, too, late in that ball game. It knocked him out of the game.
Does facing Wandy Rodriguez last night help you against Neese tonight as an offense?
I think so. He does have a good curveball, too, like Rodriguez, so that might be an advantage for Atlanta.
Looked like in Houston, Dan Uggla's bat was starting to heat up. Now he's got to get it hot against left-handed pitching.
Yeah, he had a good series, but then last night, an 0 for 3 with a walk against the lefty.
And he's now 6 for 63 against southpaw pitchers, and Neese has his first strikeout.
There was a slow breaking ball.
At short, Reyes has it, and he loads up. Very easy inning for Jonathan Nice. He needed just 7 pitches to preserve a 1-0 Mets lead after 1 inning. By the in part by Acura, by the Georgia Lottery, by AT&T, and by Sonic. Good-looking family at the ballpark tonight, even if they are Mets fans. And you don't have to make a choice like you do in Houston. You can get pink and blue cotton candy at the same time. As Josh Tolley goes to work for the Mets. Big hop for Hinsky, and Jurgens to the bag. 1 man down.
Might have heard David Ross yelling "get over" like catchers always do any ground ball to the right side, but he had to yell it twice because Jurgens was a little late taking off for the bag. He really wasn't that late taking off. He just had to hurry.
Now Ruben Tejada stands in. A rare break for Jurgens. He actually gets to see a right-hand hitter now in the Mets batting order. And he'll take that.
And this is a welcome sight for him after a rough first inning. And then to have Nice have such a fast bottom of the first, maybe JJ can have a quick inning.
Nice just 2 for 28 at the plate with 17 strikeouts.
Apparently Matt Young doesn't think that he's going to be putting the ball in play, at least not very deep.
He was right. JJ an easy inning. 3 up, 3 down. He set down 6 straight. Nothing Mets lead. And the Braves continue this battle with the Mets tomorrow night. You can catch the game on Peachtree TV here in Atlanta. And outside of Atlanta, you'll see the game on Fox Sports South. Our coverage starts at 7 o'clock. Check your local listings or go to foxsportssouth.com to see where the game is going to be on in your area. Joe and Ronnie Gant will have the play-by-play for you tomorrow night.
And on Thursday.
So here's Hinsky. He'll start things off. Then Alex Gonzalez and David Ross. Just 7 pitches for Nice in the opening frame tonight. Everybody in the Braves clubhouse was raving about the at-bat Hinsky had in the 9th inning of the game last night in Houston. Braves were down 8-0, and he just kept battling.
Like I said at the time, he's up there to hit, not to make an out, and he was battling for all he was worth. Eventually coaxed a walk.
So a full count pitch now for Eric. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
He had 5 hits on the road trip, but 3 of them were homers.
That one rolled out to Tejada, and from the outfield grass retires Hinsky for out number 1.
It's not easy right before game time to put on your playing cap. You know, you do things to prepare to get ready for that night's game and whatever role you're going to be in, but when you know you're not playing, you're thinking more as a pinch hitter and how you'll be ready like Eric always does. So you got to be a real pro to be able to turn it on and get ready to play the game. And especially when you're coming into a position that you haven't really played that much this year. Just one other start.
A much needed night of rest for Alex in Houston last night. And a line drive in center hangs up. And Angel Pagan makes the play for the second out. Here's David Ross at 295, 3 homers, 9 batted in.
Over a much smaller sampling, his numbers against left-handed pitchers kind of like Ugla's in that most of his damage has come against right-handed pitching. 375 mark against right-handers, just 1 for 12 against lefties.
He's got some company. The Braves as a team hitting just 227 against left-handed pitching coming into tonight's play. Looking for their first hit of this night. East wants a new baseball.
Everybody had to sleep fast, too. Team got in about 2 o'clock. Probably, I would guess guys got home somewhere close to 3. And then right back at it tonight. Mets beat the Braves to town by about an hour and a half. They came in from Pittsburgh. No, just saw David kind of stretch and reach for his right side. Big follow through, but he kind of right there. Hopefully just stretching.
That's in the air right center. Will that ball get down? It will. Ross with a single with 2 outs in the Braves' second.
Nice little inside out swing there. Something you don't see too often from David, but he dropped it in. Here's a guy that needs to find some of that Anaheim magic. Never had it working pretty good on that road trip out west. But he's 0 for his last 17.
When you're in a run like he's in, that's the count you seemingly have every time you're up. Still 0-2.
Hey, good catch by a fan who brought his glove. Nicely done, sir. How about that lady's hat next to him? His wife, I guess. A plaid hat with the A on it. Very stylish.
No chance for Tolley to pick up that baseball. Ross will move up 90 feet.
That's a good one. You're going to get one. I guess that's a good way to get it. Just launch it to the screen. But now a chance with that break to tie the game up with a 2-out hit.
Third wild pitch for Nice this year.
Got away with a high breaking ball there.
Well, you would love high pitch counts. You'd love to knock Nice out of this game as soon as possible. The Mets have had huge bullpen problems. And a looping line drive into right field. That's in for a hit. Ross waved around third. Ball bobbled. And we're tied 1-1. Mather snaps out of his 0 for 17.
Great way to do it, too. And love the fact that he stayed on that ball a little longer. He wasn't trying to pull the ball, just fought it off. And Carlos Beltran, who may not have the wheels he once had, still has a very good arm and fortunately bobbled that ball in shallow right field, or he might have had a play at the plate. So a little 2-out lightning for Atlanta.
Here's Matt Young. He had a good road trip. And he just had a good cut. Strike one.
Tomorrow night's bobblehead night, but this little bobble helped things right here.
One ball, one strike.
There were a lot of smiles in the clubhouse tonight. Braves did not hit on the field. Freddie Gonzalez let them hit if they wanted to in the cages indoors to save a little bit of their strength after a late night arrival. But the smiles from people who are on the disabled list, who are feeling good about their return, including we saw Nate McLeod. He's just about ready. Saw Chris Medlin and Peter Moylan talk to them. They're fired up about their recovery. They're still weeks away, but on their way, certainly.
And there goes the pitch, a strike, and that will retire the side in the Atlanta second. The Young called out on strikes, but 2-out lightning, as Joe called it, paid dividends for the Braves. David Ross with a single, Joe Mather with a single, and a Beltran bobble ties this game after 2. After 2 here at Turner Field in Atlanta. Let's enjoy our quote of the day, brought to you by our friends at Geico. And you mentioned some of those faces we saw in the locker room. We haven't seen Jason Hayward, but understand he had a good game yesterday.
Yeah, Freddie said the last couple of days he felt good. He's going to take his time, whether it's 3 days or 4 games or 6 to 12 at bats. I want to make sure his legs are good because you'd hate to rush him back. And that's a good point. Just because his shoulder's feeling better and he can swing the bat doesn't mean his legs are ready to go. Let's hope that everything's 100% when he shows.
Jason doubled in his first at bat for Gwinnett yesterday. And as we get updates tonight, we'll pass them along. And Reyes on the first pitch shoots one toward left. He stumbles. The Braves can't read it in time to nab him at first. And Jose Reyes and the first base path are not seeing eye to eye tonight.
Hey, he asked for the drying agent. That's what's loose over there, and he slipped on that. I don't know what he wants now. The sniper got him as he rounded the bag. Lucky to get back. But there he is on base again, leading off an inning.
I think you had it right. Get him some longer spikes.
Yeah.
Low to Willie Harris, 1 ball, no strikes. Harris walked and was stranded in the Mets first. Dribbled through the whole right side, and Reyes will have to stop at second. So the second time tonight, the Mets have their first 2 runners on in an inning with nobody out.
And Willie Harris continues to torment the Braves and hit his best on the road. Came in with a .315 road average. He had a great spring, made their club out of spring training on pretty much a make-good basis after he was let go by Washington, so he's been a good addition to the Mets bench.
Beltran has an RBI single. And now a called strike. Runners are going. The pitch is a strike, and the ball dropped by Ross. So Reyes and Harris steal bases. Second for Reyes, first for Harris.
He did make him stop. It wasn't like he got a walking lead, and David might have had a crack at him if he'd been able to come up with the baseball cleanly.
So now a 2-strike count. Runners second and third, nobody out for Beltran.
Carlos Beltran doesn't strike you as a great big guy, but I saw him in the Mets clubhouse tonight, and I was standing next to him, and he's listed at 6'1", and I'm supposed to be 6'3", and I felt like I was looking him right in the eye. He may not be quite as tall as me, but he is solid. Listed at 215. I'll bet he's every bit of 220.
And he just popped up. Big out for Jurgens, first of the third inning. Here's Murphy.
Aside from Reyes, this guy's really been their hottest hitter. He scuffled a little bit playing at third base at times, but offensively he's really been putting the ball in play. In fact, when we went into New York, he was on a good tear.
What's
last 10 games, good work.
Sorry, Joe. What's amazing for the New York ball club is they can't figure out what's up with Jason Bay. Bay's in the middle of a 3-for-20 slide for the Mets. He's been benched a lot the last couple of games.
And only hitting .207 for the year and 150 at bats. Look out. Nice save there by Ross. And this is the second year of his big contract he signed with New York. And remember, last year he was hurt most of the second half, had a concussion. I don't know if this was part of their chat or not, but they haven't come close to a strike to Murphy. Maybe thinking they could set up a force anywhere and pitch to Pagan.
Murphy batting .390 for the month of June. Earns a 4-pitch walk, and the bases are loaded for Pagan.
Won't go in the books as an intentional pass, but pretty much was.
Pagan line to center his first time up.
We talk about doing little things a lot with the Braves, Chip. How about this guy? Runners at third, less than 2 outs. Pagan is 7 for 7 getting that guy in. That's pretty good.
I don't think you can do any better unless you go 8 for 8.
Ground ball back to the pitcher would be nice here, though.
Line to right. Reyes scores. Harris held at third. And Pagan gets another man home. An RBI single makes it 2-1 New York as Reyes has scored his second run of this game.
Left one up. Fastball up, and he ripped it pretty hard. So hard that Harris had no chance to score from second. So Braves had tied it up, at least briefly. Mets right back on top.
Lucas Duda fly to center. He drives this one out toward Jordan Schaefer. Harris at the third base bag tags. Schaefer with the catch. The throw's cut off. A sacrifice fly makes it 3-1.
When Terry Collins got after his team a couple of weeks ago, one of the things he talked about to them was, you know, if you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect the guy you're playing next to believe in you? If you don't think you can compete at this level, why should I believe that you can, or the fans, but especially your teammates? You guys have got to start understanding that you're here for a reason. You got this uniform on for a reason. Play the game the right way, play hard, and do your best, because that's why you're here. You're capable. And they've played better since, and they've certainly done some things here offensively tonight to indicate that.
Mets with 5 hits, all of them singles, 3 stolen bases, 2 walks, lead 3-1.
And that changeup right there is probably the best changeup he's thrown so far tonight. He hasn't used it much.
Going back to our topic at the start of the broadcast, the threat of speed and the speed itself giving JJ some trouble tonight. The Mets, with more steals than any team in the National League, have 3 tonight, more than Jurgen's first 11 starts. Or as many, I should say, as Jurgen's first 11 starts. And a 2-2 count to Tolley.
We saw Josh Tolley in New York assume kind of a defensive posture at the plate where he's choked up on the bat and just trying to look like slap the ball to left field. If you hang a pitch or leave one out over the plate off speed, he can turn on it, but otherwise he looks like he's just trying to hit the ball in the hole on the left side all the time. As a result, Braves are playing in that way, and Matt Young playing very shallow again.
Three balls, two strikes. Murphy at second, Pagan at first will be off with the pitch, and 2 out. And it's rolled to Arakinski at first, and that retires the side.
Good change up there.
The top of the order has been a problem for Jair Jurgens. He'll have to correct that. Mets score 2 more runs in the 3rd inning. Jurgens leads off Atlanta's half, down by a 3-1 score. Mets have taken a 3-1 lead. Jurgens, then Schaefer, then Dan Uggla. Third strikeout for Nice. 1 away in the Braves' 3rd. Here's Schaefer.
The thing about Nice, he can run some gaps up there at you in terms of changes of speeds. His last fastball on the strikeout there was 90, which is right around top end for him in his fastball. He might hit 91, but the slow curve right before that was 70.
Schaefer lays down a bunt. And he's called out at first. A bang-bang play and a hesitation by Bill Miller. Freddie Gonzalez will come out and argue that call, but it stands for the second out.
I'm wondering if they're thinking the ball was knocked loose and that Tejada didn't catch the ball cleanly. Good try by Jordan, and a big collision here, and the ball was snow cone, but he did hold on to it. Nice play by Duda to get him the ball. You know, Bill Miller slipped over there when he set up to make a call. And the way Freddie was kicking the dirt, I don't know if that had something to do with it or not. But I wonder if when Miller set up to make the call, when he slipped, he maybe took his eye off the play. I don't know.
Looking at the replay, it looked like he was out.
Yeah.
Aguilar to center. Pagan going back, makes the catch, and that retires the side. Dan Aguilar gave it a ride, but Pagan made a terrific running catch, and that retires the side. Braves out in order. We go to the fourth. Against Jair Jurgens. Tomorrow it's Delta Day at Turner Field. You can get in on the fun. Grab your phone and text Delta to South. That's Delta to 76884 for your chance to win round trip airfare for two anywhere Delta flies in the continental United States, plus hotel accommodations and $250 in spending cash. We'll announce the winner during our telecast tomorrow as the Braves and Mets meet in Game 2. Tejada, Neese, and Reyes against Jair Jurgens. One pitch. One out.
Let me take another look at that bunt attempt by Jordan Schaefer, and I want to watch Bill Miller on the call here. Just keep an eye on him, the first base umpire, right here. See how his feet went out from under it? No, his head was still up. He still had the call. I was afraid maybe when he slipped that it, kind of pulled his head down where he may not have seen the actual play. But that's as animated as we've seen Freddie all year long with an umpire. There was one ejection in defense of Alex Gonzalez on a Saturday afternoon on a call, a ball and strike call.
Marvin Hudson set a major league record, ejecting 2 Gonzaleses on 1 play. That was April 30th against the Cardinals.
Yeah, but that was more in defense of Alex. He got out there trying to protect Alex and was too late.
Up the middle. Speaking of Alex, and he can't get to it. And Jonathan Neese has his 3rd base hit of the year, and only his 3rd hit in 30 tries. 1 out single.
And Shire couldn't get squared up in time to try to knock that down. Well, this 3-game series, Chip, if Jose Reyes is going to be batting 3 times every 4 innings, that's not going to be a good sign.
No. He scored 14 times in the last 17 games played for the Mets. Leads the league in hitting. No Met has ever won the batting title, we understand. And he drills this ball to deep right. Mather going back. He makes the catch at the edge of the track. And the way Reyes is swinging the bat, Mets ownership might be right. He may not get Carl Crawford money. He might get more.
Yeah, that's true. Especially as hard as leadoff men are to come by.
Two outs for Willie Harris. Right at Cairo, Georgia, is Willie Harris. He's singled, stolen a base, walked, and scored tonight.
Yeah, I heard some family and friends cheering down below after his base hit in the 3rd inning. Willie had an odd year the year he was with Atlanta with the big league club in 2007. He hit 270. That's darn good. But the weird part was he hit about 470 for the first half of the season and about 107 the second half of the season. He couldn't buy a hit after the All-Star break.
And he couldn't buy one here in the 4th as Jurgens threw a couple of very good off-speed pitches to retire the side. Neese had to run the bases. Let's see if Chipper Jones, Eric Hinske, and Alex Gonzalez can make him pay a 3-1 Mets game. Sports South is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff and the low price. Fourth inning now. Mets 3, Braves 1. And Chipper will get things started. Can't make it to the ballpark this Sunday for Father's Day. Make sure you join us for Sunday Braves and Sunday School. Chipper and his dad talk about hitting in his career. Joe with a terrific interview of those two gentlemen at Minute Maid Park in Houston.
Well, all I did was sit there and listen because it was really good stuff from both of them.
Chipper said after game 1 of that series, as good as he felt at the plate might be his season turnaround. Hope he's right.
At least left-handed. His right-handed swing's been all right, including a swing off this guy in New York that's one of the few balls hit up into their club level. And I mean, the crowd went silent. There were nothing but oohs and ahs when this one landed up there by the glass in the second deck.
Toward third. Murphy's got it. 1 out. Chipper's 0 for 2. Hinske the batter. Yeah, it was silent for a minute, and then they started booing again.
Yes. Yeah, as soon as it was a homer, then there was a license to boo. It was why we came to the game to boo.
And then, oh no, not again.
Yeah. 46th career homer against the Mets on that one.
Amazing. Slow roller to first.
Come on, Doc, go.
Six ground ball outs, 3 strikeouts so far for Nice. Braves haven't squared up much against him, even with their 2 hits tonight. They weren't all that solidly hit.
Braves are left-handed heavy, in my opinion, Chip, and tonight I think is an example of how when they have to make some moves or lineup changes, it's still left-handed heavy. You got Nice out there who's pitching great baseball. He's got a 1.34 ERA over his last 5 starts. But if you're going to platoon out there, Mather's in there, but Young's still got to play. He's in left field. Freeman gets hurt, can't play. And even the guy you sub for him is another left-handed hitter. So I don't know if the Braves are working to address that or feel the need to address it. But anytime there's a left-handed pitcher and a good one out there, Freddie's a little handicapped because he doesn't have that extra right-handed bat to go to.
Yeah, here's where you really miss Prado. Could play left field, then you could play Mather at first base if you had to.
No question.
And another nice pick on a high throw, and Alex is out to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down. Murphy launched a throw, but Duda off the bag saves him an error, and the Mets lead. just 2 runs, but he's just off just so, it appears.
At least early on, he was up with some pitches. This one was chopped for a hit, but then he was up and away to Reyes here for another hit his second time up. This pitch was up to Willie Harris. Made a couple of other mistakes with his fastball, but the last couple of innings, at least at the end of the third and most of the fourth, he was making some good pitches with his changeup that he hadn't really used much early.
Foul past first, and Carlos Beltran down 0-2. Freddie Freeman was in Freddie Gonzalez's original starting lineup, but a slight right oblique strain knocked him out just before first pitch.
Bounced back from that loss to New York to pitch really well against Florida, picking up his 8th win.
That ball was scalded back through the box. And Beltran has 2 hits.
Like something up again.
And 3 out of the last 5 innings, the Mets put the leadoff man on.
And looked like a fastball.
Daniel Murphy bats. He has lined to right and he has walked. Murphy's 26, born and raised in Jacksonville. Mets took him in the 13th round back in 2006. Last year, a lost year for him. Hurt his knee in spring training. Never really recovered from that. Never got back to the big leagues. In fact, played just 11 games all year long last year. After a .266 season and 508 at-bats in 2009 for New York.
I know they were really singing his praises 2 years ago about what a solid offensive player he was. And I think his natural position is third base. He wasn't going to play third with David Wright over there, so they were trying to move him around just to find a place for him in the lineup.
Played some at first. It was after Carlos Delgado was finished up, and spent some time in left field as well. Now playing third for New York. That stays alive, a ball and 2 strikes. Mets did get a setback with David Wright when we were up in New York. Said another 3 weeks for David with that fracture in his back before he could resume any activities.
I believe the date I heard today was June 23rd for Wright, something like that, somewhere around there where he will be tested again.
So yeah, he's about halfway through that 3-week period they were speaking of when we were in Gotham.
Well, 3 guys that are key components to their team and to any success they may have long term was Jason Bay, Carlos Beltran, and David Wright. And in the last 2 years, those 3 guys have only played 27 games together.
That's amazing. And that caught him looking over the inside corner for Jurgen's 3rd strikeout.
He certainly had to work to get it. But a well-located fastball at the knees.
But to your point about how little time those big 3 have spent playing together for New York, They're sort of hanging on the fringes of this Eastern race, the same way the Braves are only a couple of games out. That's excellent pitching, starting pitching specifically.
Yeah, and the guy you would expect when the season starts to be their bell cow would be Mike Pelfrey. And he's been anything but. He's 3-5 with a 5 ERA. It's the other guys that have picked it up. And I wouldn't say out of nowhere, but virtually out of nowhere, Dylan G is 7-0.
The Braves will see him tomorrow. Out to worry about Nice first, down 3-1 in the Mets' fifth. Braves tonight starting a 9-game homestand. Atlanta 17-13 at home. As the runner goes, the pitch a strike. Throw to second, a strike as well, but late. And the Mets are running at will. That's their 4th stolen base of this game.
Only the 2nd for Beltran this year. He's trying to save his bad knee, but he got a great crossover step and jump. Stole that one on Jurgens, who wasn't paying much attention to him. Good throw by David Ross, but he didn't have a shot at him.
And you're right about Beltran. His first stolen base attempt was June 11th.
So he's coming around.
Dangerous count for Pagan. 3 balls and a strike. That's 3 walks now for Jurgens. First and second, 1 out. And let's take a look at tonight's AT&T Uverse trivia question.
Willie Harris. Oh.
I don't think Willie pitched.
Okay.
Name the last 2 starting pitchers that made the All-Star game as Atlanta Braves in the same season.
I think the obvious place to go there would be some choice of Smoltz, Glavine, and Maddox.
But just as soon as you go there, you think it's too obvious.
Yeah, then you start backpedaling, moonwalking, as it were. Denny Nagel might be coupled with one of those 3 guys.
Fly ball by Duda. 2 outs. Just out of guilt because we missed Mike Hampton the other day down in Houston. We might have to throw him in there too.
I refuse. No disrespect to Mike. We were stumped so badly on Mike in Houston that I can't go there.
So Jurgens 1 out away from pitching out of 5th inning trouble. 2 on, 2 out. Josh Tolley is 0 for 2, has yet to get the ball past Eric Hinsky. And can't get it past Jurgens this time. He's 0 for 3. Mets strand their 6th and 7th base runner in this game. Braves down 2, bottom of the 5th. by Academy Sports and Outdoors, by the Home Depot, by McDonald's, and by Honda. Nice crowd tonight at Turner Field for the Braves and the Mets. Got to get the bats going tonight against Jonathan Neese. He's allowed just 1 run and 2 hits. The run and the hits came in the Braves' second. David Ross and Joe Mather responsible for that. And those are the 2 men that will start this half inning. Fouled back by David Ross for strike 1.
Again, his fastball is not overpowering, but it's got good movement, good sinking action to it. Working in that curveball, and to the right-handed hitters, kind of a backdoor curveball. There's a little cutter or slider, short slider. Two earned runs or less in 8 of his last 10 starts.
And he's part of this incredible run by the Mets starting pitching. As great as the Braves starters have been, and they have been outstanding, the Mets have allowed 3 earned runs or less by their starters in 16 of their last 18 starts. They have the lowest ERA in baseball over the last 18 starts among starters.
Yeah, 2.54. Trouble is the team is just 9-9 over that stretch. But that's an improvement over what they'd been putting up in terms of wins and losses.
David might have broken his bat. Reyes handles a tricky hop. And 8 straight have been set down by Neese. Tomorrow, when the Braves and Mets battle, the first 20,000 fans will get a Jason Hayward bobblehead doll. That's courtesy of Delta Airlines. For tickets, visit Braves.com/tickets or call 800-745-3000. Don't know if Jason will be back in Major League lineup tomorrow or not.
Hope so.
Be great.
This is presence around the team in the clubhouse, his smile.
Ball, 2 strikes. Season did not start well at all for the Mets.
Or for this guy.
Things nearly hit rock bottom when the Braves took 2 out of 3 against them here in mid-April. They then went home, lost 2 straight to the Astros. Their record fell to 5-13. Since then, the Mets are 27-21.
First 4 starts, this guy was 0-3. An ERA just under 6, getting knocked around pretty hard, but he has straightened that out. Got a no decision again against Atlanta on June 3rd, but pitched into the 8th inning. I heard today that when I got to the ballpark that right after the Braves left Houston, they fired their pitching coach, Brad Arnsberg.
Another chance for Reyes. 9 straight set down by Nice. Philosophical differences, I believe, was the terminology used to let Arnsberg go. Doug Brocail, I believe, will take over as the new pitching coach.
Yeah, he was an assistant to the GM in the front office.
Six of the last 9 outs have been on the ground against Nice. Braves still stuck on 2 hits tonight. By the way, we have a Jason Hayward update. 0 for 2 tonight in his rehab assignment. If you're joining us late, we had a quote from Freddie Gonzalez talking about Jason's playing at his own pace, but Freddie wants to make sure that his legs are underneath him before he brings him back up. But it's sounding like it's going to be sooner rather than later, and that's good news for everybody if he's playing in AAA rehab games now. Brandon Beachy's going to make a rehab start Thursday for Gwinnett. Nathan Clouth is in Atlanta, swinging the bat now.
Yeah, I know Brandon's really been chomping at the bit. He's been feeling good.
And a base hit for Matt Young. That guy had a good road trip, and he's got his first hit of the night. And that snaps a string of 9 straight, retired by the Mets lefty.
Yeah, makes him 6 for his last 16. Got a good count, got a good pitch down and in to hit. More at bats, more confidence, and more good results. That was Matt's first base hit off a left-handed pitcher since he got called up.
Right at the first base bag. Duda makes the play to retire the side. On we go to the 6th. Nice play by Lucas Duda. 3-1, New York in front. Jason Hayward bobblehead doll day tomorrow, and it's Delta Day at the ballpark. Grab your phone, text Delta to South, Delta to 76884 for your chance to win round trip airfare for 2 anywhere Delta flies in the continental U.S. hotel accommodations, and $250 in spending money. We'll announce the winner during our telecast tomorrow as the Braves battle the Mets. Now, if you won that, where would you want to go?
Oh, Tahiti.
Last time I checked, Mr. Rand McNally, that's not the continental U.S. You would be ineligible.
Well, it should be.
I like the way you think.
Do they have direct flights to International Falls, Minnesota?
Quite possibly.
I'll have to go there around December 30th.
Here's Tejada. He may not get back till spring. Rubin's 0 for 2. He's flied out twice. The Mets in town first, then the Texas Rangers over the weekend. Chance to see Josh Hamilton and the defending American League champions in interleague play, and the Toronto Blue Jays. Jose Bautista's cooled off quite a bit. Not as destructive of late with the home run ball.
He's been some kind of good player, though, for the last 2 years.
Still with 21 home runs, that's more than anybody else in the American League. Bautista second in the junior circuit in average. So we'll look for him on June 20, 21, and 22.
Also marks the return of Yunel Escobar.
Two balls, two strikes. Toronto's only 7.5 games out in the AL East. They've lost 4 games starting tonight's play. Texas leads the AL West by 2 games over Seattle. And a little low, full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Pretty good pitch there. Good patience on the part of Tejada to not swing at it, but a good changeup.
And he earns a leadoff walk.
It's a season high in walks for Jair. He's up to 4. Hadn't walked more than 2 in any start until tonight.
In 6 innings, the Mets have put the leadoff man on 4 times. He wasn't bunting with the first pitch.
Surprising. Must have missed a sign.
Jose Reyes, our Delta Airlines on deck batter. He's had a terrific night at the plate. Tried to bunt that time and wasn't successful. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got that one down. And Nice helps himself. 5th sacrifice. Tejada to second, 1 out, and here is Reyes.
These are the things that the Mets have to do offensively, and while they're getting good starting pitching, their bullpens let them down. But again, this goes back to Terry Collins harping on this team play the game the right way and give it your maximum effort. And he said, I've got every confidence you guys are good enough to get this done. It's time you started believing in yourselves. They've certainly done a good job tonight, and they've gotten runners on.
Third managerial go-round in the big leagues for Terry Collins. Started with the Astros, then went to the Angels. Last year was the Mets minor league field coordinator. New front office, new manager, new attitude perhaps for Terry Collins, and a man I know that you know and respect an awful lot.
Yeah, I know Terry from the minor leagues in the Dodger organization. Played together too many years, actually. With no disrespect to him, but we were down there too long. Nothing wrong with that.
First time he's been uncomfortable anywhere in this game.
Not really that close. He just kind of walked into it a little bit. And one of the things you want to keep him from doing is being comfortable and leaning out over the plate.
And that's how you answer it. With a line drive into left. Schaefer loads up. His throw is off target, and Reyes never stopped running and stands at second base. An RBI hit for Jose Reyes, his third hit of this game, and New York now up by a 4-1 score.
That is how you answer, and he got another pitch up. Nice piece of hitting going the other way. Tejada got a late start, and Jordan got to the ball quickly, probably 3 steps before Tejada got to third base. The slow was so far off the mark, they had no shot.
Single RBI, second on the throw is the official scoring on the play, and now Harris hits with New York in front by 3 runs now.
I mean, this is a Jose Reyes game. 3 hits, 2 runs scored, 2 stolen bases, and an RBI. Quite a night.
If he had to vote today, would he be the MVP of the league?
I'd have to. He'd get strong consideration. I'd have to make sure there's not somebody else I would leave out, but he'd get very strong consideration.
97 hits now, 34 multi-hit games. Reyes with 22 stolen bases now. He scored 49 runs.
Only the 6th inning, and the Mets have already had 10 at bats with runners in scoring position. They're 3 for 10. That's George Sherrill loosening up.
Every single one of the Mets hits tonight is a single.
Still a manageable game here. But you got to make some pitches and prevent that extra run from scoring.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Marlins and Phillies have opened up their big series tonight. They had a long rain delay in Philadelphia. Hanley Ramirez is back for the Marlins tonight.
And they got a doubleheader tomorrow, I think.
And Ryan Zimmerman's back for the Nationals in Eastern Division news.
Yeah, be good to get Ramirez back tonight, Zimmerman back tonight, Jason Hayward back perhaps as early as tomorrow night.
And then if Reyes wants to take the rest of the series off, that would be okay too. But you can see what his influence is having on Jurgens in this little sequence now. A couple of times he's faked towards second just to keep him a step closer.
He was only 3 for 20 against Jair coming in. He has 3 hits in this game alone.
Five walks. And Freddie Gonzalez is on his way out, and that's going to spell the end of the night for Jair Jurgens. Last time Jurgens had more walks than 5 tonight was August 30th last season. It was against the Mets, and he walked 6 in that game. 4-1 New York. Into the bullpen we go in Atlanta. And more importantly, 4 runs. He'll give way to George Sherrill. George will answer the AT&T call to the bullpen with the middle of the Mets order coming up.
He's been in 3 games against the Mets so far this year. 2 2/3 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed, a couple of strikeouts. He pitched last night in Houston, gave up a run on 3 hits. But a 2.76 ERA overall. I would say, generally speaking, he's pitched real well.
So let's see if he can hold him right there and hope the Braves bats can get something going against Jonathan Neese.
An ugly line for JJ tonight. 13 base runners in only 5 1/3 innings. So maybe George can put the clamps on this 6th inning and make it remain a 4-1 lead for New York.
Left-handed pitcher turns Beltran around to the right side for the first time in the game.
And be careful on the first pitch for the base runners too. Keep an eye on them.
Ugla shadowing Reyes at second. Harris not being held at first. Hinske well behind him with 1 out. One ball, no strikes.
Key to a good base runner here, if you're Willie Harris, and we'll keep an eye on him. He knows he's not being held at first, so his eyes are on Reyes. He's watching Jose. If Jose breaks, he'll break. And if Jose doesn't go, then he turns to watch the pitch to see what happens there. But you, as the trailing runner behind a base stealer, you got to keep your eye on him. If he goes, you go.
Beltran late. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Both runners go, and the pitch popped up. Mather can't find it. Now recovers and makes the play. He was waving his arms, never saw it, and recovered at the last minute.
What an amazing recovery. He had overrun the ball, and then spiraling backwards, he makes an over-the-shoulder catch. That is one helpless feeling and a real nice play.
So Beltran pops out. Now Daniel Murphy bats. Murphy 0 for 2 with a walk. And the word on Jason Hayward, just got the update a moment ago. 3 at-bats and out of the game. No physical issues. Played right field. And we'll see what the next step for Jason Hayward will be.
A couple of good breaking balls there from George Sherrill to start Murphy. Could throw him another one, just don't throw it for a strike.
Fly ball softly hit toward left. And that retires the side. Sherrill does a nice job with a little help from Joe Mather in right. Bottom of the 6th. To 1 lead.
Thanks mostly to Jose Reyes tonight. He's been the guy that's causing all the damage. 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, an RBI, and 2 stolen bases. Jonathan Neese has held the Braves in check since they put a little 2-out rally together in the 2nd inning. Both of the hits that he allowed in that inning were back-to-back with 2 out. And only 3 on the night so far.
But here for the Braves, the top of the order is coming up. Let's see if Jordan Schaefer can spark a rally. 4-1 game. And a belt high strike.
I so appreciated, and so did everybody else that I talked to, about Jordan Schaefer and his post-game comments last night. Another sign that this kid is really growing up and gets it.
That one hit high in the air to center.
He was talking about the game last night, and there was a time early in the game, Braves were down 2-0, and Derek Lowe doubled leading off the inning. And he just needed to get him over, and he didn't. And Derek Lowe was subsequently left at second base. So after the game, and he had hit a 3-run homer in the 9th, he was asked about it, and he goes, you know, the home run was pretty much pointless. The turning point in the game was when I didn't do my job, and I just needed to get a runner over from second to third. All I needed to do was bunt him over, and I didn't do it.
Ugla breaks his bat. And a foul ball down the left field line.
He said that could have set us up for a run, made it a 2-1 game, given us some momentum. But instead, I didn't get him over, didn't do my job, and he said to me that was kind of the turning point in the game. And that was really good to hear from him. He's getting it.
Yeah, Freddie Gonzalez told me before the game, a couple batters later in the ball game, pulled Jordan down to him and said, hey, here's the situation. And Jordan said, I was trying. I thought I could put a swing on the ball and hit the ball to the right side. He lined out to center on that play. But you're right. Freddie was really appreciative and agrees with you that Ugla lines hard to center. The days of Jordan Schaefer thinking he's a 20 or 30 home run guy are giving way to what this Braves club needs him to be.
They're top of the order tonight, really doing the damage. First 5 guys in the Braves order tonight. So far 0 for 12.
Chipper part of that. He's 0 for 2. Is out on a ground ball to short and out on a ground ball to third.
And both were hit sharply. He hasn't thrown a lot. He hasn't overthrown and overused that slow breaking ball, but he's thrown it for strikes. It's been very effective.
Nice leaping play by Nice, and the Braves are out in order in the 6th. They lead 4-1. Braves are hoping Tim Hudson can knock Dylan G from the ranks of the unbeaten. That guy's off to a great start for New York. Game 2 of the series here at Turner Field.
I think 2 of his wins have come against Atlanta, too. I know one of them did. He's gotten a no decision in the other. I have to double check that.
You'll see the game here in Atlanta on Peachtree TV with Joe and Ron Gant outside the metro Atlanta area on Fox Sports South. George Sherrill back out there for the Braves. Angel Pagan starts things off for New York. Jurgen started 4 runs in 5 innings and a third. A season high 5 walks. And 8 hits, all of them singles. Jose Reyes is the key to the Mets offense. JJ couldn't solve him tonight. Reyes with 3 lifetime hits coming into play tonight. Reyes has 3 in this game alone.
G beat the Braves in his first start back on April 17th. Won that game 3-2 and beat him in New York that last visit. Start of the road trip. Shut him out 5-0 and beat Jurgens that night. He's 2-0 against the Braves out of his 7 wins.
Well, 3rd time's the charm, hopefully tomorrow night for Atlanta. And Angel, in this league, you need 4 wide ones to earn a walk. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
He was just trying to speed up the game.
Broken bat and Chipper on the run. Close play at first. Pagan is out number 1.
It's only a close play because Chipper had to get his feet under it. Now, this is a tough play. Getting the short hop, you're kind of out over your feet some. And to make sure he made a good throw, he had to get his feet under him when he made the throw on the run, and it was a good one. He's played great over there defensively, hasn't he?
Had a great series in Houston. Jordan, get ready. Duda's up. He's hit the ball at you 3 times. One of them for a sacrifice fly. That scored a single run in the first, 2 in the third, 1 last inning, the 6th. This one popped shallow left. And Young puts it away. 2 outs. Selecting great seats at Turner Field just got easier with the Braves' new interactive seat map. Go to braves.com/tickets today to view the best available seats. The interactive seat map is easy to use and will help you get great seats at a great price. Give it a try at braves.com/tickets. Good crowd here tonight. Pretty heavy crowds, we understand, expected for that Rangers series. Of course, Friday night fireworks. We've got the 2 for $30 ticket specials here tomorrow night. Jason Hayward bobblehead doll for the first 20,000 fans. And Josh Tolley punches one through the box for his first base hit of the night. It comes with 2 outs.
Again, talked about this guy earlier, just kind of being a put it in play, slap it somewhere. He got a breaking ball that he could do just that with.
Strike 1 to Ruben Tejada.
He's got some fancy color coordinated tape on his bat.
I like that better than the orange. When we were up in New York, they had Mets replica cap giveaway. I haven't seen any of those Mets who've made the trip down from New York wearing those really, really orange blue and slightly blue hats.
Yeah, the ugly ones.
Yeah.
The ugly hat night they called it. Noticed you brought 4 or 5 of them home.
Well,
you're into that.
No, I thought maybe, the way things were going, we have a little bonfire and turn our fortunes around. Nice play by Ugla, as that one went right through the legs of James Hoy, the second base umpire. Little umpire croquet. And we go to the 7th inning stretch. Let's get some runs. It's 4-1 New York. Part by Georgia Power, by Toyota, by Blimpie, and by Geico. Let's see if the Braves can get something mustered against Jonathan Nice now. We're in the 7th inning. Heart of the order coming up. Braves have a run on 3 hits. That is all in the start of this 9-game homestand, and our first of 3 with the New York Mets.
Big crowd here on Flag Day, though. Nice to see everybody out. Hopefully the fans will be treated to a late inning rally. Governor's here with his flag. So let's hope the Braves can put a rally together and pull this thing out.
So a nice rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game tonight. Jason Pridey takes over in left field for Willie Harris. And East goes back to work. Hats off to him. He's pitched a good ball game, trying to win his 6th of the season. Remember, Joe pointed out this young man started the year 0-3 for New York. The Mets started the year 5-13. But as Nice has turned things around, so has New York. He's won 5 of his last 7 decisions.
Another thing you have to respect about what the Mets are doing and the way they're playing is that they're doing it without their corner infielders. David Wright, we're still not sure when he's going to be back. They're hoping that he can resume some activities at the end of the month. And Ike Davis, who suffered a bad ankle sprain and bone bruise in a collision with David Wright on a pop-up in front of the mound. They're not sure when he's going to be back, and that injury has been very slow to heal.
Well, get a couple on, have somebody pop one here, get in the Mets bullpen, and who knows what can happen. That's another key when you face New York. And a squibber is out of play foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hinske starting at first base tonight. Freddie Freeman, an oblique problem. If you're just joining us, hopefully Freddie will be able to go tomorrow. We'll see.
No walk so far tonight for Nice. He walked 30 in his first 13 starts. Walked 4 in his last start against Milwaukee.
He's been tough. 7 2/3 in his last 2 starts back to back.
There's a good indication of how much confidence he's got in that slow curve. Threw it 3-2 to the leadoff hitter here in the 7th.
And he backed it up. First strikeout since the 3rd inning and his 4th in the game.
Wasn't trying to do anything with it other than throw it for a strike.
Alex Gonzalez bats. Alex is 0 for 2. Braves 2.5 games behind the Phillies at the start of play tonight.
After those first 2 games in Houston where the bats were really cutting it loose, they're going quiet again. They had 11 runs, 14 hits in game 1 in Houston, 6 runs, 14 hits in game 2. They won game 3 4-1, but only had 5 hits. And last night 6 hits, 2 of them in the 9th.
Back-to-back starts against a left-handed pitcher with a lineup for Atlanta that you rightfully mentioned is very left-hand heavy right now. Without Martin Prado able to go. If you missed it, Prado disabled with a staph infection in his right calf. Slow roller out toward Reyes. Stumbled and throws a long dart. Jose's got to get some thicker or longer spikes. Look at those shoes. They're caked with the clay.
I don't even see any spikes in that, do you? There might be some in there, but they're hard to pick up. They're so caked with dirt, slip, and then tried to kill a worm with this one. It'll be an infield hit.
Infield hit for Alex. Here's David Ross. That one boxed. Alex is going to try. The throw to second is late.
Might be a pass ball. Good reactions by Alex to take off as soon as it got away from Tolley.
That's Dan Warthen, the Mets pitching coach. It is a passed ball. Gonzalez at second. Helps keep the Braves out of a double play situation. Now let's see if David Ross can bring home the Braves shortstop.
Well, we've talked about their difficulties in the bullpen, Chip, and if anything, Terry Collins would rather not go down there until he absolutely has to. Nice is pitching a real nice game here. He gave up an infield hit when Reyes slipped, and then the pass ball. And it may have been a reminder from Worthington that, hey, you're pitching a good ball game. Don't worry about the guy at second. You got a 3-run lead at the bottom part of the order. Work on these guys, and don't let all that's going on around you affect you.
One would think Freddie Freeman would not be available, but look who's got a bat at the end of the Braves dugout and is thinking about some late inning heroics for Atlanta. Brian McCann's on bended knee, getting ready just in case. Swing and a launch job to left. Twisting and turning is Pridey, and he can't make the play. Ross on his way to second with a double. It's a 4-2 game. You mentioned Terry Collins, bullpen, and until he has to. Tying run comes to the plate, and he has to.
And one of the first mistakes Nice has made all night on a high fastball. 10th RBI of the year for David Ross. Braves are 11-2 when David Ross starts.
And the Braves back in the ball game. Nice chased. One in, one on, one out, and a 4-2 game. Ball game, but departs with a 2-run lead, and the tying runner in the batter's box, and into this battered bullpen goes their skipper Terry Collins.
Pedro Beato's got a good arm, but he has been getting Beato'd up lately. His ERA has been going up because his last 8 innings he's given up 13 runs, 12 earned. And that's just in keeping with the way the Mets bullpen has been going. Since May 16th, almost a month ago, their bullpen 1-6 with a 7.39 ERA and 25th out of 30 teams overall with a 4.40 ERA for the year.
The Braves have 7, make it 8 outs left. Let's see if they can cash in against the Mets relief corps. Joe Mather snapped an 0-for-17 slide with a bloop hit that scored David Ross in the second.
Some of that 0 for 17 chip has come from impatience from Joe Mather, but a good start to this at bat.
There's the good arm, but you're right. Location, 3 balls, no strikes.
And that's a pitch, that high fastball that Joe's been going after some lately. Laid off that one at 95.
And a 4-pitch walk. Tying runs are on for Atlanta with 1 out. Matt Young is called back. And as we expected, Brian McCann getting ready with a purpose.
They have a left-hander ready in their pen. Tim Burdick is down there. And Terry Collins wants him, and he wants him.
So Beato called upon. Throws a 4-pitch walk to Joe Mather. And now Freddie Gonzalez has Burdick and McCann to ponder. 2 on, 1 out. Go-ahead run potentially coming up for Atlanta. Threatening in the bottom of the 7th inning. We've already scored 1 run. Brian McCann announced as a pinch hitter, and a tough lefty, Tim Burdick, will face him.
29 games for Tim, and he is pretty much like George Sherrill, a left-handed specialist in most cases. He will be here, obviously available for tonight's game, will not be here for tomorrow night's game. He will be gone for a bereavement list. Mets have said they will carry on without making a replacement for him, but he's not expected to be with the team tomorrow.
Two on, 1 out. Brian McCann 1 for 2 this year as a pinch hitter. That hit, a home run. Looking for his first lifetime hit against Burdick.
He's been very patient lately too, getting some counts in his favor and then not missing his pitch.
One ball, 1 strike.
With Matt Young out of the game, one would have to assume that Hinsky would then have to go back out to the outfield. And Brooks Conrad, who's out on deck, he might be a guy that would play first base. He's taking some ground balls over there.
He's on deck. And popped up over by the Mets on deck circle and out of reach.
There's a break. That might have been an out at Citi Field, a little more foul territory in the Mets home ballpark. If you just joined us, Freddie Freeman was scratched from the starting lineup tonight with a strained right oblique. Hopefully nothing serious. He might still be available to come in and play defense. We'll have to wait and see.
Ryan had 2 homers on the just completed road trip among his 8 hits. He's over the 500 RBI mark. And just took the call, 3rd strike.
What a pitch. No argument from McCann. He knew it. Right to the outside corner. Conrad called back, and Diori's going to come out.
So 2 on, 2 out. Diori Hernandez indeed will be the batter, and this guy's had himself a pretty good run as a pinch hitter for the Braves.
He's been making great contact.
Diori 5 for 12 in a pinch with a home run and 4 RBIs.
How about this one? Here's the homer. Francisco Rodriguez deep into the seats at Citi Field in that Sunday night game. That got the Braves back within a couple of runs.
And Dan Warthen's out to say to his pitchers, don't do that again.
Diori's been squaring up a lot of baseballs, pinch hitting or otherwise, coming into the game for defense and getting in at bat.
So here we go, 2 on, 2 out. Mather at first, Ross at second, Hernandez batting in the number 9 spot.
Got the gear on. Looks like he's going to stay in the game.
One ball, 2 strikes. Didn't get that outside corner. That was close.
And a good fastball at 91 that just missed. Just off the plate.
And that's tipped and caught by Tolle, and that retires the side. Braves threaten, score once. And after 7 complete, Jonathan Nissan and the Mets enjoy a 4-2 lead. Let's take a look at a couple of defensive changes for the Braves. Eric Hinsky now moves to left field. Diori Hernandez moves to first base. The first time he's ever played first base in the big leagues. And Brian McCann is going to stay in the game and work behind the plate. And he will catch the pitches thrown by the man out of the bullpen. Answering that AT&T call, it's right-hander Scott Proctor.
Scott's numbers have been very good again. 13th game for him since he was called up. 6 strikeouts in 9+ innings. Braves have gotten within 2. His job simple. Hold him right there. And that won't be easy with a pinch hitter and then the top of the order again.
The pinch hitter is Scott Hairston. Burdack out of the game. Boy, was he good. Couple of strikeouts. Hairston 259 at the plate this year, and ball 2 low. Popped up. Alex Gonzalez handles that easily. Hairston's out number 1. Now it gets serious for Proctor. Now to keep Reyes off the base paths. He's the subject of our Academy Sports and Outdoor Leaderboard.
Leading the National League in runs scored now with his 2 across tonight. Taking over in front of Drew Stubbs of Cincinnati and Braun and Weeks of the Brewers.
Sawed him right off. And Diori Hernandez handles his first chance, no problem.
Good to see him put his foot on the bag. That's always a good sign for a first baseman.
2 outs.
He knew exactly what to do. No trouble.
Wonder whose glove he's using. Here's Pridey. And he swings the first pitch. We'll take that. Chipper in, foul ground at third. Proctor an easy inning. Maybe momentum swinging to the Braves dugout. The top of the Atlanta order is coming up. It's only a 2-run game. On for Atlanta. And those are McDonald's fans at the game.
Going to try to get something going here for the Braves in the 8th inning after they wiped out about 14 bags of cotton candy, it looks like. So they're ready to go.
New pitcher on for the Mets. He's a veteran, Jason Isringhausen.
He's been in 27 games, but Terry Collins has to kind of judiciously use him. He can't overuse him. He's had an assortment of arm injuries in his career, but he still throws hard. Right-handers hitting only 167 against him. Lefties 235. All homers he's given up 3 have come from left-handers.
Isringhausen won the game on June 2nd against the Pirates, his first as a Met since June of 1999. Remember, he was a hard-throwing starting pitcher in his young days. All kinds of arm problems forced him to become a relief pitcher, and was a very good one as a closer with the St. Louis Cardinals. Jordan Schaefer is 0 for 3 tonight.
Fastball slider guy most of his career, but he's come up with a cutter like everybody else.
And then got a breaking ball for Schaefer to pop into center. And Jordan's out, number 1. Here's Dan Uggla. The Braves last saw the Mets. Isringhausen blew a save against the Braves.
Yeah, it was due in part to an error, a glaring error by Jose Reyes that allowed the tying run to score.
And it was after the walk to the man in the batter's box, Dan Uggla, that set up that next play off the bat of Alex Gonzalez. That was the 8th inning back on June 3rd. Dan tonight is 0 for 3, has a hit streak. He's hoping to continue.
Good cut. By our count, You would assume that Dan Uggla's happy to see a right-hander out there. Here's that last pitch. He is 0 for his last 27 against left-handed pitching.
Breaking ball, fly ball, deep left, leaping try, and Uggla a solo home run.
He was all over that low fastball that he fouled back, and that's the first home run allowed to a right-handed batter this year by Isringhausen. Hanging breaking ball. Left it up, Dan went out around and got it. 1-run game.
Chipper in the box now. Ninth homer for Uggla. Homer for Dan allows him to reach base for the 9th time in his last 15 games. That's the streak I was talking about. He's getting hot. He homered June 12th against Brett Myers. He takes Isringhausen out here to make it a 4-3 game. And now Chipper strokes one to right field. This one's deep. This one is caught at the wall. Up against the scoreboard, Beltran for the second out.
Chipper was a little bit out in front of this one. He hit it good. And you see Tolley sitting there behind the plate, worried that that was back-to-backers to tie the game, but Beltran had other thoughts. I don't think he took a home run away, but he made a terrific catch to save extra bases. He's still not out of the woods with Henske.
Remember the way the Braves lineup is set up too. You've got Brian McCann lurking in the bottom part of this order. And if K-Rod comes on for the 9th for New York, that's something they'll have to tangle with. Be nice to get to Brian in the 8th. $18 earned runs allowed by the Mets bullpen in roughly 24 innings this month.
I think when Chipper hit that ball, the folks in New York watching the game were going, oh no, not again.
And a comebacker will retire the side. Dan Uggla got a hanger and he banged it to left. His 9th home run draws the Braves to within 1. It's a 4-3 game now after 8 at Turner Field. can hold them and win it at home in their last at bat. Plenty of excitement tonight, more excitement this weekend. Don't forget this Sunday it's Father's Day and the Texas Rangers are in town. Braves alumni will be on hand before the game. Montgomery Gentry will perform post-game. That concert benefits the Prostate Cancer Foundation. For tickets, visit Braves.com. 1-2-3 inning for Scott Proctor. He gives way in the AT&T call to the bullpen to Craig Kimbrell.
This is good for Craig. His last two outings, he's been touched up for some runs. A blown save at Florida, and then in a non-save situation at Houston, an inning, 2 hits and a run. Good to get a good inning under his belt, get his confidence back.
He could use a clean inning, too.
Has had a couple of days rest.
Beltran had a big at bat in this game back in the 6th. You recall the Mets had a couple of runners on and he popped up. It was against George Sherrill, who got Murphy to fly out. Mets settled for 1 run in that 6th inning and they haven't scored since. Braves have pecked away with single runs in the 7th and 8th. And leadoff walk. Asking for trouble late. Here's our Toyota play of the game. It happened a moment ago.
Yeah, just a second ago. Looked like Chipper hit one at least off the wall. And Beltran with a nice running catch. Prior to his knee injury, he was as acrobatic and good a center fielder as he was out there. Nice play there.
Let's see how New York plays it. First pitch, Murphy flies to Schaefer for out number 1. Pagan has an RBI hit tonight. That came in the Mets' 3rd. They scored 2 runs in that frame. He's also walked. Remember, you have Diori Hernandez playing first base for the first time in the big leagues.
It wasn't that close.
Two balls and a strike.
I'm sure that they keep it somewhere to keep track of everything else, but the percentage of strikes and to balls of his total pitches thrown.
That I don't know. I just know that he hasn't had that many clean innings. And 43 walks and hits allowed by Kimbrel in 32 1/3 innings, counting base on balls to Beltran here in the 9th.
His last clean inning was, and what we mean by that is no hits or walks, came May 25th at Pittsburgh. That was 8 outings ago, and a walk tonight. That's 9 straight without having a clean inning.
Beltran in scoring position with 1 out.
He's only allowed runs in 3 of those outings, but the point is, if you got base runners out there, you're under some stress, usually in tight situations for him.
And with all the walks, it mounts the pitch count, which makes it tough to use them on back-to-back days. So all these things sort of snowball for young Craig Kimbrel. Now Duda bats. He's flied out 3 times. He also has a sac fly and an RBI. 12 pitches, 3 strikes. Now McCann wants to talk it over.
No one throwing in the Atlanta pen.
Let's get back to the AT&T Uverse trivia question. There it is. Last 2 starting pitchers that made the All-Star game as Atlanta Braves in the same season. That's the question. There's an answer, a 2-0 count and a trivia.
I'm going to go Nagel and Maddox.
With you 100% of the way.
God, Tom is going to be so upset.
Two and two.
Thought it was too obvious. I don't know what McCann said to him, but he lit a fire under Craig.
That's popped up. Infield fly is called. 2 outs.
Francisco Rodriguez is ready in the Mets bullpen to work the 9th. Braves will have Gonzalez, then the pitcher spot, and then Mather due up.
He's loose, folks. That was at 97 at the knees.
Found out about the percentage of strikes. Entering play tonight, 580 pitches for Craig Kimbrel, 64% strikes. 371 to 209. So if you're looking for at least a 2-to-1 ratio, you're pretty close.
Did that hit him? It did. A hit batsman loads the bases.
Oh, on the knee, too. I mean, not that this is any great consolation, but for Tolley, at least it was a breaking ball.
Now Roger McDowell out for a chat with Craig Kimbrell. No place to put Ruben Tejada now. Bases are loaded for New York with 2 outs.
And Scott Linebrink begins to loosen up in the Atlanta pen. Tonight his ratio is 2-1 the other way. We're right at it. 13 balls, 7 strikes.
McCann held it there and got the call. It's an 0-2 count.
Don't mess around. Just go after him. Control hasn't been good enough to really waste a lot of pitches.
He struck him out over the outside corner. Got out of a bases loaded mess in the top of the 9th inning. Braves need a run to tie, 2 to win as they trail 4-3 in game 1 of the series. Joe and Ron Gant will have game 2 for you tomorrow night. You'll see it in Atlanta on Peachtree TV outside the Atlanta area. Catch it on Fox Sports South. Check local listings or foxsportssouth.com to see where the game's going to be on in your area.
Here's a guy the Braves have seen a lot. They know a lot about him, and they've hit him pretty good. June 3rd in that series in New York, gave up a home run to Eric Hinsky to tie the game in the 9th, and then gave up 2 more runs in the inning. 2 days later, he gave up that 3-run homer to Diori Hernandez.
He's got Ronnie Paulino behind the plate now for the bottom of the 9th. And an interesting couple of statistics on Rodriguez. He's converted 18 straight saves, but he's also allowed 5 runs in his last 5 outings.
Just need a base runner. Get a guy on, put some pressure on him. Gonzalez looking for his first hit off of him in his career, 0 for 4, and got his work cut out for him here behind in the count. With a good hard slider he has.
High fastball. And Alex down on strikes. One away in the Atlanta ninth. Conrad bats in the pitcher's spot now. Braves need a runner to have a chance to use McCann in the ninth. He's due 4th on the lineup card. Brooks 5 for 23 as a pinch hitter.
Throws hard, right around 90. Used to throw harder than that. Lost a little bit on his velocity. You just got to get a good pitch to hit. Make him get the ball up. You get a lot of motion from this guy. Doesn't mean you have to swing as hard as he's kicking his leg and delivering.
Four-time All-Star, 3 times with the Angels, made it with the Mets back in 2009. Falls behind Conrad, 3 balls and a strike.
Has walked a lot of people, 14 in 31 innings.
Popped up foul into the seats. Good crowd here tonight, 32,000 plus. Hoping the Braves can walk off in the ninth with a comeback win. Full count. Two out.
Pretty gutsy pitch there. Again, a real high leg kick, a lot of motion, threw his glove at him, and then change up. Dying down and away. That was a terrific pitch from the Mets closer.
Joe Mather will try to keep it alive.
Sure would like to see McCann get a crack at him tonight. He's fallen behind both hitters, or all 3 hitters. Came back to get 2 strikeouts.
Mathers reached twice. RBI single and a walk tonight. fly ball to left. Pridey is there, and K-Rod nails it down in the ninth inning and preserves a 4-3 win for the Mets in Game 1 of this 3-game series at Turner Field. Told you at the start of the broadcast, if you want to beat the Mets, you got to control Jose Reyes. It was tough for the Braves to do that tonight.
Yeah, he's our Home Depot player of the game for what he did. Starting in the first inning, a single, stolen base, run scored, stole another base in the third inning, drove in a run with a single here in the sixth. He had himself quite a night. 3 for 5. A run driven in, scored twice, and 2 stolen bases. Our Home Depot player of the game.
So New York wins a 1-run affair, 4-3 tonight's final score. Jonathan Neitz beats Jair Jurgens. K-Rod picks up his 19th save of the season. And the Braves fall to 38-30 on the season. Coming up next, it's Braves Live. Stick around for post-game interviews, Freddie Gonzalez sound, and all of tonight's highlights. For Joe Simpson and the crew, Chip Carey inviting you to stay tuned. Braves Live is coming up next.